is my pleasure to welcome you all to this year's edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. This year, 2009, is the 16th edition of the competition, and we are grateful to you all for supporting the program all these years. We wish to acknowledge this year GBC, GTP that provides my beautiful fabric, and the University of Ghana that has made this venue available to us. Last year, we brought you 38 excellent and incredible contests. All contests were highly competitive, and we learned that no school is to be underestimated. If you underestimate a school, you do so at your own risk. At the end of the competition, Presbyterian Boys Senior High School emerged winners for an unprecedented 4th time. This was incredible indeed. But our tradition has still not been broken. No school has been able to win this contest back to back. And we are still waiting for the school that will successfully defend the championship. So Presbyterian Boys Senior High School is here, determined to do so, but there are equally determined schools here who wish to take that opportunity from them. I wish all the schools the best. This year, we will be bringing you 22 contests and 20 schools. You see the number has decreased, but we are determined to give you another very high quality program. As always, we'll follow stages in our competitions. We'll start with our preliminary stage of 9 contests. Then we'll go on to the 1A stage of competition, which has 5 contests. Then our usual 4 contests for the quarterfinals, 2 contests for the semifinals, a contest to decide between the 3rd and 4th place schools, and finally our grand finale. On a sad note, we lost our chief and foundation biology consultant, Professor Ebenezer Kweku Awotwe, on the 28th of March, 2009. We miss him very much, and we hope his soul rests in perfect peace. May we please observe a minute of silence. All right, our contestants are here and ready to begin. I will not keep them waiting much longer. I would like to welcome you once again to the 2009 edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. My name is Elsie Efa Kaufman, and I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Biomedical Engineering, University of Ghana, Legon. For today's contest, the first in our preliminary stage of competition, we have 2 very distinguished schools. On my left, we have St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary from Wa, represented by
Subari James, SS3.
And also a famous SS3.
Legon Augustine, SS3.
You are welcome, gentlemen. Did you really come all the way from Wa? How long was your journey?
12 hours.
12 hours? Yeah. What was the velocity at which you traveled?
It was bad.
Did you keep track of that?
No.
Okay, we shall talk a bit more about Wa later. All right. On my right, we have our reigning champions, Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, represented by
Prosper Gigenio, Form 3.
Asala Jeffrey, Form 3.
Puku Frank, Form 3.
You are also welcome. Presbyterian Boys Senior High School from Legon. How long was your journey?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, traveling at the velocity of
20 meters per second.
Very good. All right, I hope you are relaxed. Contestants, are you relaxed and ready? I know this competition is very familiar to both schools, but I would like to remind you of the rules as we go along. So when we get to a round, I'll tell you a little bit about the round and tell you about the rules for the round. There are 5 rounds in all. We begin with the first, and the first round is our round for fundamental concepts. In this round, the questions are very simple. Most of the time, I'll ask you to try to answer the questions in one attempt. This means you should do teamwork, okay, because one answer is expected. St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary. In one attempt, please name or identify one group of elements in the periodic table that tends to form divalent anions. Yes, Augustine.
Group 6 elements.
Yes, group 6 elements. Presbyterian boys, your turn. Please answer in one attempt. Name one group of elements in the periodic table that tends to form trivalent cations? Yes, Asala.
Group 3 elements.
Yes, group 3. We are back to you, St. Francis Xavier, to be answered in one attempt. Which cellular organelle in animal cells forms vesicles that give rise to lysosomes? Yes, Augustine?
The Golgi bodies.
That's right. Presbyterian boys, in one attempt. What event just precedes the division of the nucleus of a cell? Yes, Asala?
Interphase.
That's incorrect, and so I'm passing it on for a bonus. Yes, Famous?
Synthesis of ATPs.
No, no. The right answer is duplication of DNA. So the DNA duplicates before division of the nucleus. In this pair of questions, I'm going to give you a set of derived units. Derived units. What you are to do is to give me the equivalent SI unit. Is that clear? All right. And do it in one attempt. So, St. Francis, your derived units are 1 kilogram meter per second squared. Yes, Augustine?
The Newton.
Yes, it's a Newton. Presbyterian boys, with the same preamble, your derived units are 1 Newton per meter squared. Yes, Prosper?
Pascal.
Yes, it's a Pascal. All right. To go schools, I'm going to give you a quadratic equation. When you get your equation, please solve it. Okay, so St. Francis Xavier. 3x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Yes, Famous?
X is equals to 2 over 3. X equals to 2 over 3 or 1.
Try again. Yes, Augustine?
X is equals to 1 or minus 1 over 3.
Last chance. Yes, Augustine?
X is equals to 1 or 1 over 3.
That's incorrect, but I'm going to give you 2 out of 3. You had one of the answers right. The right answer is x is equal to 1 or x is equal to negative 2 over 3. With the same preamble, Presbyterian boys, your quadratic equation is 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 is equal to 0. Yes, Frank?
X equals to minus 3 or 1.
That's right. The next pair of questions are to be answered in one attempt. St. Francis Xavier, which class of alkanols, when oxidized, form alkanones? Yes, Augustine?
The secondary alkanols.
That's right. Presbyterian boys, what is the functional group in alkanes? Yes, Asala?
There's no functional group.
Yes, there is no functional group. St. Francis, what are cusps? Cusps. C-U-S-P-S. Yes, Augustine.
Cusps are narrow ridges found on the topmost surface of the molars and premolars.
Yes, it's true. In fact, if you had also told me that there are flaps that form part of the valves of the heart, I would have had to accept that as well. All right, Presbyterian boys, what is the renal pelvis? Yes, Frank?
It refers to a structure in the kidney which connects the ureter to the pyramids, and it transports urine from the kidney to the ureter to be transported to the bladder.
Try again. I can't give you this mark, so I'm passing this on for a bonus. Yes, go ahead, Augustine.
The renal pelvis is found within the medulla of the kidney, and this helps in transporting urine to the urethra.
No, not for a bonus. I needed you to be very, very specific. It's actually the expanded initial part of the ureter, the mammalian ureter, okay, into which the collecting ducts of the kidneys empty. So the collecting ducts empty into this expanded part the initial part of the ureter. Next pair of questions, you have blanks to fill in. Fill in your blank in one attempt. St. Francis. An incandescent source emits light because it is blank. Yes?
Because it is hot.
Yes, it's true. Presbyterian Boys, with the same preamble. Heat energy is spread through a liquid by the process of blank. Yes, Frank?
Convection.
Yes, it's convection. Last pair of questions for the round. Two angles are supplementary, and their difference is 50 degrees. Find the measures of the angles. Is your hand up, Famous?
You have 65 degrees and then 115 degrees.
That's right. Presbyterian Boys, two angles are complementary, and the sum of twice one angle and thrice the other angle is 220 degrees. Find the measures of the angles. Yes, Asala?
40 degrees and 50 degrees.
That's right. With Asala's answer, we come to the end of the first round. At the end of the first round, St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary has 23 points. Presbyterian Boys Senior High School has 18 points. Well done, contestants, but we still have 4 more rounds ahead of us. Anything is possible, as you know. All right. Round 2 is a round for applied science. I know it's one of the favorite rounds of the contest, right? In this round, we would like to find out how you apply simple concepts like those you found in the first round to explaining certain everyday situations, either in the lab or in normal everyday life. So you will be expected to apply much more in this round. A correctly answered question fetches 3 points. A wrongly answered question is passed on for a bonus point. And partial credit is very, very possible in this round. Good luck. Let's start this time with Presbyterian Boys Senior High School. Under a translation vector U, the point A with coordinates 2, -4, is mapped onto the point B with coordinates -3, -7. Please find the translation vector U, and you may give your answer in unit vector notation.
-5, -2.
Try again.
-5i minus 3j.
That's right. St. Francis, under the translation vector U is equal to 2i minus 5j. The point A is mapped onto the point B with coordinates -3, 3. Find the coordinates of the point A. Yes, James?
-5i 8j plus 8j.
Try again. Yes, Famous?
-5i plus 8j.
Last chance. For a bonus.
Yes,
Asala?
-5, 8.
Yes. St. Francis Xavier, you were to give me coordinates of a point, not a vector. All right? Please calm down, listen to the question, and answer whatever question you are given. Next pair of questions. We are back to you, your major question, Presbyterian Boys. If a seed imbibes water, its weight increases. Would you regard this as growth? Explain. Yes, Frank?
I will not regard it as growth. This is because growth is the irreversible increase in dry weight. And because the seed has imbibed water, it has imbibed water and the water has added onto the dry weight. And this one can be reversible because the water too can be lost from the seed.
Add something, Asala.
It's an irreversible increase in dry weight. But in this case, the water that has been imbibed can be lost when the seed is dried.
Okay, I'll give you the mark. Presbyterian Boys, I'm going to ask you also to be very, very careful in answering your question. Yes, the mark is mainly for Asala's answer. All right. St. Francis Xavier, your question. Is guttation likely to occur in forest trees or savanna trees? Explain your answer. Yes, famous.
It's more likely to occur in the forest trees. This is because in the forest zone, there's high humidity. And hence, to get rid of this excess water that will be absorbed by the plants, it will be done through guttation.
Okay, yes. Presbyterian boys, what is the thermometric property used in a pyrometer? Explain your answer. Yes, Sasala.
Color intensity. This is because when the color intensity increases, the color intensity for a hot substance can be used to determine its temperature. So the hotter the substance, the hotter its color intensity. And
Try
color
again.
quality.
Color intensity. This is because when they compare the pyrometer with the hot substance, they change the resistance of the pyrometer for current to pass through, and the color of the pyrometer is matched with the furnace, and this one is compared with a color chart to determine the temperature.
I'll give you 2 out of 3 for mentioning color, but is it really the intensity of the color or the type of color? You understand what I mean? Yes, so it is color, but not just the color intensity. You know about Wien's law. Okay? All right. St. Francis Xavier, what is the thermometric property used in a constant volume gas thermometer? Explain your answer. Is your hand up, famous? Yes, go ahead.
It's pressure. This is because at different temperatures, gases exert different pressures. From gas law, the pressure law, which says that the pressure exerted by a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So at a particular temperature, a gas exerts a particular pressure, and this can be used to measure its temperature.
Good job. Next pair of questions. Presbyterian boys, what accounts for the hardness of diamond? Frank.
The carbon in diamond is sp3 hybridized. So the carbon in it has a tetrahedral shape connected to the other carbon in it. And there are also giant interlocking network of covalent bonds in the diamond, which connects the carbon in it. So it makes the carbon hard. The interatomic bonds between the carbon in it is very strong. And this gives the diamond a hard characteristic.
You want to add something? Go ahead.
And the carbons are connected by sigma bonds. Sigma bonds.
It's not necessary. I'll give you the mark. St. Francis Xavier, your question. Why is graphite, another allotrope of carbon, soft? Yes, famous.
It is soft because graphite has its carbons sp2 hybridized, and they are arranged in hexagonal rings and connected by weak van der Waals forces. So, because of the weak van der Waals forces between the particles, they tend to be soft.
I'll give you the mark. All right, Presbyterian boys. Find the equation of the straight line through the point with coordinates 2, 1, and perpendicular to the line through the points with coordinates A, 1, 2, and B, 3, -2. Yes, Frank.
2y minus x equal to 0.
That's right. St. Francis, find the equation of a line through the point A with coordinates 3, -3, and parallel to the line with equation 2x plus y is equal to 4. Yes, famous.
You have 2x plus y plus 9 equals to 0.
Pardon?
2x plus y plus 9 equals to 0.
Try again. Yes, James.
2x plus y minus 3 is equal to 0.
That's right. Presbyterian boys, which part of the eye is specialized for the perception of color? And how is this specialized for such a function? Yes, Frank.
The retina. This is because it contains cones, the cones in it, and these cones contain iodopsin, which is sensitive to colors. The cones in the retina is what is sensitive to colors and helps it to determine color.
Add something.
The retina. This is because it contains rods and cones, and these are sensory cells, and they are sensitive to light.
You are making it worse. I'll give you 2 out of 3. It's actually a very specific part of the retina. Which? Yes, the fovea. Okay, so it is the fovea of the retina, and it's specialized because it has the cones. You didn't need to be mentioning rods and asala. All right. St. Francis, your question. Mammalian red blood cells have a biconcave shape and flexible cell membrane. What are the benefits of this structure? Yes, Famous.
This is to enable the red blood cells to pass through narrow capillaries in the body.
Which is this?
The flexible nature and the biconcave nature of the red blood cells enable them to pass through narrow capillaries in the body and then to also carry high amounts of oxygen.
Add something, Augustine.
And then the biconcave nature makes it possible for many of them to be packed one on another.
1 out of 3. The biconcave shape gives the red blood cell a large surface area so that it can undergo, those gaseous exchange. You mentioned oxygen, but you didn't quite link it to this. Then the flexible cell membrane enables it to squeeze through the capillaries without getting ruptured. Okay, so there were 2 specific things, and I was expecting answers related to those 2 specific things. Next pair of questions to be answered in one attempt. Presbyterian boys, what happens when a coil of wire is moved through a magnetic field at constant velocity? Yes, Asala.
An EMF is induced in the coil.
Yes. Also to be answered in one attempt, St. Francis. A sealed glass jar contains an ideal gas. Describe what happens to the molecules when the temperature of the gas is increased. Yes, Famous.
With increase in temperature, the kinetic energy of the individual gas molecules also increase, leading to an increase in pressure within the sealed container.
I'll give you the mark. Yes. Increase in kinetic energy. Last pair of questions for the round. Presbyterian boys, why is a small amount of fluoride added to toothpaste? Yes, Frank.
This is to prevent tooth decay, because the fluoride prevents tooth decay when we paste with it.
Okay, the fluoride combines with calcium hypophosphate, and this forms an insoluble substance which prevents bacteria from acting on the enamel.
Okay, good job. St. Francis, what role do chlorofluoromethanes play in the decomposition of ozone in the stratosphere? Yes, Famous.
These they undergo hydrolytic fission, producing ions in the atmosphere, and these attack the ozone layer, destroying it.
Which ions?
Fluoride.
I'm passing it on for a bonus. Yes, Asala.
They undergo homolytic fission to produce free radicals, and these free chlorine radicals, and these free chlorine radicals react with the ozone.
Yes. So they produce free chlorine radicals, and it's the chlorine radicals that react with the ozone to produce oxygen. That's the end of the second round. At the end of the second round, St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary has 39 points. Presbyterian Boys Senior High, Legon, has 42 points. Well done once again, contestants, but we are still far from our end, and so we have to continue. Round 3, as you know, is our problem of the day. So far, the questions you've seen have not required much of your attention. It's taking only maybe 30 seconds maximum to solve a problem. The problem of the day is expected to engage you a bit more, and so we expect that 3 minutes should be sufficient. So from the time I ask you to begin to solve it, you have 3 minutes in which to present a response from your school. The problem of the day is worth 10 points. Let's turn over our sheets and read the problem of the day together. Problem of the day. 5 cards are marked 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The cards are placed in a bag and a card is drawn at random from the bag. The event A is the number on the card chosen is less than 4. The event B is the number on the card chosen is odd. Please find A, probability of A, B, probability of B, C, probability of A and B, otherwise known as probability of A intersection B, D, probability of A or B, also known as probability of A union B, and E, the conditional probability of A given B. Contestants, this is your problem of the day. Good luck, and you may begin. Contestants, please send a representative from your school to present your answers on the whiteboard, exactly as they appear here. The contestants have presented their solutions. Before we award them marks, let's look at the ideal solution from our consultants. From the question, the sample space is a set with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can define a set A, which describes the first event, as a set with elements 1, 2, and 3. The set B with elements 1, 3, and 5. So now, if we look at the intersection of the sets A and B, we will have the elements 1 and 3. And if we look at the union of the sets A and B, we will have a set with elements 1, 2, 3, and 5. So, first question, probability of A. All we need is the number of elements in the set A divided by the number of elements in the sample space. So 3 out of 5. B. We need the probability of B. We need the number of elements in the set B divided by the number of elements in the sample space. Again, 3 out of 5. C. We need the probability of A and B. So we need the number of elements in the set A intersection B, and then divide that by the number of elements in the sample space, 2 out of 5. Then we need the probability of A or B. We need the number of elements in the set A union B divided by the number of elements in the sample space, 4 out of 5. Finally, the conditional probability of A given B. We need the probability of A intersection B divided by the probability of B. These have already been calculated, so we use those numbers, 2/5 divided by 3/5 to give a final answer of 2/3. This is the ideal solution from our consultants. Now our contestants. It appears they did not find this challenging at all. There are different ways of doing the same things. They took slightly different approaches from our consultants for D and E, but no problem. we understand what they are doing. And I am so happy in this first preliminary contest to award perfect scores all around. That's the end of round 3, the problem of the day. Contestants, we are at the top of round 4. Most questions in this round involve calculations. So when you get your question, you most probably have 30 seconds in which to provide an answer. Should the question not involve calculations, you have 15 seconds in which to do so. A correctly answered question fetches 3 points. A wrongly answered question is passed on for a bonus point. All right. Let's start on my left with St. Francis Xavier. Your question. Calculate the amount of heat energy that must be transferred to 20 kilograms of water in order to raise the temperature by 2 degrees Celsius. The specific heat capacity of water is 4,200 joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. Yes, famous?
168,000 joules.
That's right. I was expecting that you use scientific notation, though. At this level, be professional. All right. Presbyterian boys. The temperature of a certain solid changes by 30 degrees Celsius when 6,000 joules of heat energy is transferred to a 0.2 kilogram sample of the solid. Calculate the specific heat capacity of the solid. Yes, Asala.
1,000 joules per kilogram per degree Celsius.
That's right. This is good. You people are fast. All right. Next pair of questions. St. Francis. Integrate the function with respect to x. Your function is 4x cubed minus 6x squared minus 10x plus 7. Yes, famous.
X to the power 4 minus 2x to the power 3 plus 5 minus 5x to the power 2 plus 7x plus c.
Where c is?
The constant.
All right. Presbyterian boys, integrate the function with respect to x. Your function is 10x to the power 4 plus 6x squared minus 12x plus 5. Yes, Frank.
2x raised to the power 5 plus 2x raised to the power 3 minus 6x raised to the power 2 plus 5x plus c.
Where c?
Where c is the constant of integration.
All right. You know I could very well make it d or k, right? So when you tell me c, I need to know what you mean by your c. All right. Next pair of questions. Please, one attempt. St. Francis, pick the odd one out and give a reason for your choice. Your options. A, vulture. B, rat. C, lizard. D, cat. E, guinea fowl. Yes, famous?
The lizard. This is because all the others are in the phylum, no, in the order Mammalia, but the rest, but lizard is in amphibian. It's a reptile.
I'm passing it on for a bonus. The reason is very, very important to me. Yes, Presbyterian boys.
Vulture. This is because vulture is a scavenger and the rest are holozoid.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. St. Francis, yes, it's the lizard, but please, it's a vulture and mammal. So the reason was wrong. The answer is lizard. All the others are warm-blooded. The lizard is the only cold-blooded one among them. All right. Presbyterian boys, your options. Squid. B, starfish. C, sea urchin. D, jellyfish. And E, sea anemone. Go ahead, Prosper.
Squid. The rest are cnidarians. Squid is a mollusk.
That's incorrect, and so for a bonus. Yes, famous.
It's the squid. This is because all the others, they're all marine, but The squid is not.
Oh, famous. Where does a squid live if it's not marine? Freshwater? Ay, ay, ay. No. Actually, both schools, squid is the correct answer, but your reasons are a little strange. The squid is bilaterally symmetrical, the others are radially symmetrical. Next pair of questions, St. Francis Xavier. I think you'll be grateful for this one. No explanations. Calculate the percentage hydrogen in hexane. Give your answer to one place of decimal. Yes, Augustine.
9.9%.
Try again. For a bonus. Frank. Yes, Prosper.
16%.
Oh, my goodness. You were to give your answer to one place of decimal. So no, that's not correct. The right answer is 16.3%. Your own major question. Calculate the percentage carbon in one hexene and give your answer to one place of decimal. Yes, Asala.
85.7%.
That's right. St. Francis. Two forces, F1 and F2, are acting in opposite directions on a block, such that the block moves with a constant velocity of 0.5 meters per second. Given that F1 has a magnitude of 5 newtons, calculate the magnitude of F2. Yes, Augustine.
F2 is 10 newtons.
Try again. For a bonus. Yes, Asala.
F2 is 5 newtons.
Yes, it's also 5 newtons. All right. Your major question. 25 joules of energy is spent in moving an object from rest to a velocity of 10 meters per second. Calculate the mass of the object. Frank.
0.5 kilograms.
That's right. Now to both schools. Listen carefully. If f of x is equal to 2x plus 3, and g of x is equal to x squared plus 3, find the formula for the composite function. So when I get to you, I will give you your composite function. You find the formula. All right? St. Francis, your composite function is g of f of x.
Madam.
Yes, famous.
4x squared plus 12x plus 12.
That's right. Presbyterian boys, your composite function is g of x. Yes, Asala.
2x squared plus 9.
Try again. Yes, Frank.
X raised to the power 4 plus 7x squared plus 12.
Repeat.
X raised to the power 4 plus 7x squared
Try
plus
again.
12.
X raised to the
Last
power
chance.
4 plus 6x squared plus 12.
Yes. Okay, to both schools. You answer this one in one attempt. How can you distinguish a monocot from a dicot? By an examination of the veins of their leaves. Yes, who is answering? James.
Monocots are having parallel veins, while additionally the dicots are net-venated.
Yes. By the way, if every one of you raises his hand, I'll pick whichever I want, so be careful. All right, Presbyterian boys, with the same preamble and in one attempt, by an examination of the arrangement of vascular bundles in their stems. Yes, go ahead, Frank.
In dicots, the vascular bundles are arranged in a ring, but in monocots, they are scattered in the stem.
That's true. Last pair of questions for the round. St. Francis, please explain how you would prepare 1 decimeter cubed of 0.16 mole per decimeter cubed from a stock solution of 0.8 mole per decimeter cubed HCl. So I need to know how you are going to do the process. Yes, famous.
0.02 GM cube of the stock solution, that's 0.8 molar HCl, will be taken and diluted with 0.08 GM cube of water to get 0.16.
Try again for a bonus.
200 centimeter cube of the stock solution will be taken and 800 centimeter cube of distilled water will be added to it.
Yes, that's right. Your major question. Explain how you would prepare 1 decimeter cubed of 0.2 mole per decimeter cube solution from a stock solution of 0.24 mole per decimeter cubed NaOH. Yes, Frank.
You take 120 cm cube of the stock solution and top it up with
No. Try again.
Okay.
Asala.
You take 5/6 dm cube of the stock solution and you top it up to 1 dm cube.
For a bonus, you will take 833.3 centimeter cubed of the stock solution and then top it up. Okay? That's how you would do it. And that's the end of the 4th round. At the end of the 4th round, the scores are St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary, 61 points, Presbyterian Boys Senior High, 72 points. Our final round is here. This round comes to you in 2 parts. For the first part of the round, I'm going to be throwing some statements to your schools. When you get your statement, please consider it and tell me whether the statement is true or false. If you answer correctly, 2 points. If your answer is incorrect, you lose a precious point. You may choose not to answer, in which case the statement is passed on to the opposing school for the possibility of getting the 2 full points. Please do not underestimate our final round. Good luck, and let's start. So we'll start with you. First statement to you, Presbyterian boys. The classification of blood groups in humans is based on different types of hemoglobin. Yes, Frank?
false.
Yes, it's false. It's based on the different types of antigens on the red blood cells. Electron diffraction occurs because electrons can behave as waves. Yes, James?
True.
Yes, it's true. Whereas iron 2 salts are pale green, salts of copper 2 are either pale green or blue. Yes, Frank?
True.
Yes, it's true. The cosine of an angle is always greater than its sine. Yes, James?
True.
Oh no, it's false. Presbyterian boys, the volume of a circular cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. Yes, Frank?
True.
Yes, it's true. The malphigian layer of the skin is made up of actively dividing cells. Yes, James?
True.
Yes, that's true. Protons cannot exhibit diffraction effects. Yes, Frank?
False.
It's false. Of course, matter can exhibit wave properties since protons are subatomic. They are expected to exhibit very, very strong diffraction phenomena. All right, St. Francis. Addition of either dilute NaOH or dilute ammonia to copper 2 solution will produce a pale green precipitate. Yes, James?
False.
It's false. You will get a pale blue precipitate. For the same number of carbon atoms, the hydrocarbon with a straight chain will have a lower boiling point than the one with a branched chain. Yes, Frank?
It's false.
Yes, it's false. A cuboid is a prism. Yes, James?
True.
Yes, it is. The malphigian layer of the skin is very thick in the palms of the hand and the soles of the feet. Yes, Frank?
False.
False. course, is the conified layer that is thick in these places. The velocity of a wave traveling in a stretched wire can be decreased by increasing the length of the wire. Yes, James?
True.
Oh, no. That's false, because the velocity is independent of the length of wire. All right, Presbyterian boys. Sound travels more slowly in a dense solid. Yes, Frank?
False.
Yes, it's false. It travels faster in a dense solid. St. Francis. 2233 tetramethylnonane contains fewer carbons than duodecane. Yes, James?
False.
Yes, that's false. Of course, duodecane has 12 carbons, and then the 233 tetramethylnonane has 4 plus the 9 carbon, have 13 there. All right, last pair of statements. Presbyterian boys, tangent of 30 degrees is equal to root 3. Yes, Frank?
False.
It's false. Tangent of 30 degrees is 1 over root 3. St. Francis, hemoglobin can be found only in mammals. Yes, James?
False.
Yes, false. You can find it in vertebrates. For example, even the fish has hemoglobin. Okay, that's the end of the first part of round 5. We are left with the last part of round 5, where I'm going to ask you to solve some riddles. If you're able to solve the riddle on the first clue, 5 points. If you solve it on the second clue, 4 points. If you solve it on the third or any clue after that, 3 points. When you are ready to solve a riddle, you have to draw my attention. You do so by ringing your bell. May I hear your bell, St. Francis Xavier? Thank you. And yours, Presbyterian boys. All right. When I hear that sound, it means you have an answer ready. I will not wait for a response. If your answer is incorrect, you get to set out that riddle and give a chance to your opponent to solve that riddle. Good luck. Let's start with the first of our riddles. I am a point on a curve. There is nothing stationary about me. I am neither a maximum point nor a minimum point. Who rang? Yes, Frank?
Point of inflection.
Yes, it's a point of inflection. And they solved that riddle on the third clue, 3 points. Next riddle. I am one of a group of structures whose name suggests that they are small organs. I am indeed small, spherical. I am present in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. I am composed of RNA and protein. I sometimes have a close association with messenger RNA. I am involved in translation. So who am I? Who rang? Who rang? Yes, go ahead, Augustine.
Ribosomes.
It's a ribosome. Next riddle. If you only looked at my units, you could easily confuse me with my friend because we are both concerned with changing positions. But whereas my friend does not mind where he ends up, I am very concerned about where I'm going. When a force is applied, we both respond by changing. But whereas my friend can only change in magnitude, I can change direction as well. So who am I? Wait. Yes, go ahead.
Acceleration.
Oh, no. So, your chance, Presbyterian boys.
Velocity.
Yes, it's velocity. And the friend, of course, is speed, right? Last riddle. I am a cation. I am derived from an element in the main group of the periodic table. My element is white, soft, and ductile. Whereas I am soluble in water and quite comfortable in aqueous medium, the element I am derived from is not soluble at all. When I'm in an aqueous solution, I am partly responsible for the solution's inability to lather with soap. I burn in steam, and I'm a constituent. Who rang? Yes, go ahead.
Ca2 plus.
Oh, no. So you set it out. We continue for your benefit, St. Francis. I burn in steam, and I'm a constituent of several useful light alloys. Who am I? Go ahead.
Iron 3 plus.
Oh, no. 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 Anyone from the audience? Is there someone taking up this offer? Go ahead, sir. You want to bail out your colleague?
Mg2 plus.
Yes, it's magnesium 2 plus for no point. The first clue said magnesium. I'm a cation. I am a cation, so it's not the element. That's the end of round 5. At the end of the contest, the final scores are St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary were 74 points. Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, Legon, 94 points. St. Francis Xavier, you gave us a good contest, and you did very well. Your score is quite high. I hope it's high enough to take you to the next stage of competition. Otherwise, I wish you well. Thank you for being here. Presbyterian boys, 1 down, how many to go? Congratulations on winning this one. There's still a long way ahead of us. All the best in your preparation, and I shall look forward to seeing you again. Viewers, thank you for joining us for this contest. It's been a very good one, and we started well, but we have many more contests ahead of us. We hope you are making your plans to join us next time when we bring you the second of our preliminary contests between Pope John Senior High School, Koforidua, and Infantsiman Girls Senior High School, Salt Pond. I'm expecting a good contest. Don't miss it. See you next time. Bye.